Welcome back, everybody. It is Dennis, and it's that time of the week, that time of the month. It is Wednesday of recording on this video, and YieldMax ETF and Roundhill ETFs have posted their payments for the, what is this, the third week, the second week? No, it's the second week of December, but technically the third payment of December, since we had a little bit of a delay with the YieldMax ETF, if we're following the YieldMax ETF calendar. But yes, it's time to get our week C payments. Yes, week C payments. And then we're going to get a week D payment, and then again a week A payment for our fifth payment from YieldMax ETFs for the month of December. But it's that time of the week to go over how much we've made. We're going to look over Roundhill, we're going to look over YieldMax, and I just got to say, guys, before we get into it, it's a sad week for distributions, at least for myself personally, and for a lot of people that own similar funds to me. It's a sad week for distributions for this week, or for week C of YieldMax ETFs, and for the second week for Roundhill ETFs. Yeah, it's just a little painless. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. We can see the tweet, or now it's not a tweet, an X post that was made by YieldMax ETF for the distributions of this week. And we have the official website with all the distributions. We're going to go through them really quick. Of course, focus on more of my own yields and my own distributions and what I'm planning to do with this low week and how am I planning to play it out. But looking over it really quick, YMAX delivering a lower yield of $12.26, YMAX $16.80, CONY $1.3391, Fiat $68.22, MSFO $41.26, AMDY $30.42. We'll talk about AMDY in a second. Netflix $86.51, ABNY $39.60, PP $60.10, and ULTI $70.92. And then looking, of course, at QDTE, $16.45 or 46 rounded for distribution from QDTE. And then we have XDTE, which paid $15.36 for the month, or for the second week for their distributions. So looking mostly at my yields and my funds that I own, YMAX $12.26 from YieldMax YMAX ETF, 34.96% distribution rate. Kind of sad. $12.26. What a low. I understand. We had Thanksgiving. We had a shorter week, and therefore the payments are going to come a little bit lower. But still, $12.26. I don't know, man. After we have AMDY coming out $30.42. Like, come on. We take a look at previous payments for AMDY, $81.92, and then you hit us at $30.42. I understand it was a short week, and you know, like it was Thanksgiving, and we had less days to trade. But $30.42, especially when AMD is going down, or AMD, the underlying, is going down, and I don't know, maybe there was like some mismanagement, maybe volatility was down. I wasn't tracking volatility for AMD, but $30.42, that's like 3 times less than the month prior, and 2 times less, over 2 times less for November. I don't know. Obviously, I'm still going to hold it. I'm still going to buy in. I see long-term AMD, the underlying, as being a good long-term hold, so I'm going to continue buying in. But still, it's sad to see the $30.42 on the 176 shares I hold. As you guys can see, 110 to 176, we have a 66 share increase in a matter of a month. So I am going hard into AMD. I'm putting more of my portfolio into it because I do believe in the long-term longevity of the underlying AMD. But $53.54, even with the 66 share increase of AMDY, we got $53.54, way lower than $89.54, and of course higher than $32.24. But that's only 35 shares previously. So yeah, kind of disappointing week when it comes to, or month for AMD, and then a week payment for this week from YieldMax of $53.54. Man, very, very disappointing. But it doesn't end there, because then of course we had YMAX that paid us $12.26. And if we look at the YMAX distribution for this week, oh boy, if we look at YMAX, $49.34, half of what it was, pretty much 44.71% less than what it was last week of $89.24. I don't even want to look what the difference is for $114.74. Oh my god, but absolutely brutal. $12.26 per share compared to $23.77 and $30.56. And I understand that, of course, we had a shorter month, a shorter week trading because of the Thanksgiving break and everything of that sort. But still, $49.34 on an increase of 402 shares as well. We've increased our share amount by almost 25 plus shares, and we're still at $49.34. Oh man, It's okay though. I understand it happens. We still have 5 weeks technically. I need to add that in actually for my YMAX. We have 5 weeks of dividends for December, so we still have a chance to make it up. Especially since we're gonna be getting another Tesla payment, and we're gonna be getting another GUI payment. Right? It's Tesla and GUI. We're gonna get another second payment by the end of this month, before we get into the new year and the new month. So we'll be getting another Tesla and GUI payment. So that should be able to, raise our grand total from 654, which is probably gonna be even less, because if AMDY and AMDY, oh, I went too far. If AMDY and AMDY does not give us a good dividend per share, this might be a tight month of, we'll see. Obviously, I've added shares for AMDY and AMDY, and we can get we're probably not gonna get another $1 per share. If we get another $1 per share from AMDY, that'll be crazy and be great. I doubt it. We have now, I think, 300 plus shares in AMDY. We've added some shares into AMDY as well, I'm pretty sure. So if we're able to get at least, I don't know, if we could get $1, that's great. If we could get even 70 cents again, that'll be great as well. But it's going to be tight. It's going to be very close for this month of December for having an increase at least of distribution per share. But like I said, if Tesla and GUI comes in as well, I think we'll be fine. But of course, then it's a little bit biased because that's 5 weeks of dividends. So it's a little bit biased. Technically, if it was 4 weeks, it would be underperforming. Unless, we'll see what AMDY and AMDY does. But, oh man, it's rough. It's rough. What a rough payment. 12.26 from YMAX and 30.42 from AMDY. CONY did well, $1.33. I think it is lower than it was before, but $1.33 is still pretty good, 105% increase. Fiat did good as well, even for being an inverse, also in the 101%. But of course, they're farming that volatility on Coinbase. And an ULTI, even though it's lower at 70.92, that is a 92.32% distribution per rate for the price of ULTI right now, which I think is around $10, $11, around that range. So for that price range of the ETF, it's a good distribution for them. But looking at QDTE, because once again, it does not just end with YieldMax ETFs. It goes on to QDTE as well for Roundhill. And wow, QDTE is us with a $16.45 per share. And that only gives us a measly $29.20, down 27.81% from the week prior, which got us 40.45. And had a distribution of 23.59. We've actually added shares as well into QDTE as well, and don't forget QDTE shares are a little bit more expensive than YMAX. So the 10 I think you get more than 10. You could probably get like 12 shares of YMAX for the same 5 shares, or the same 5 shares of QDTE could get you like 12 shares of YMAX, maybe a little bit more. But so yeah, QDTE is an expensive ETF, and of course we added up 6 shares into that. Got $16.46 per share, $29.20. And then I don't know. It's kind of disappointing. We have 2 more weeks. Let's hope maybe we could get another 50 cent per share payout. That would be great if we could get another 50 cent per share payout, because that would give us a good amount of dividends right there. If we get another 50 cents per share payout, we'll get a roughly, what is that, around $90? Almost $90, around like $80 mark if we get a 50 cent per share payout, but that's probably not going to happen. QQQs, S&P are continuing to go upwards. So they're doing, their volatility is probably not that high. As well as, they're probably not able to capture that much since most of the funds are going upwards. QQQs and S&P are going up. So, yeah, disappointing. Sure. Am I done with? No, of course I'm not done with YieldMax ETFs. I'm not done reinvesting. I'm not done putting more money into these funds. It's just a disappointing week, but it's okay. It's part of the game. We're down 62.4% from last month. From QDTE, and of course they also had 5 weeks for last month because of the way they paid out compared to YieldMax ETF, which paid out Monday. So 5 weeks for November, 4 weeks is for December, is what it's going to be for QDTE and for Roundhill ETFs. But currently we stand at 69.66. If we could get another 40 payments for 2 weeks, that comes out to 80. That'll bump us up. It's not going to be over 185. It's going to be lower than 185. So we're going to be down for this month. But of course that's competing with 5 week payments. So we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But honestly, how am I playing this out? What am I going to do with these little payments? I'm moving the screen a little bit too much. What am I doing with these little payments we got? So we got $53.54 from AMDY. We got a total of, what was it? $49.34 from YMAX. or we're getting, we haven't gotten it yet, it's Wednesday, it's just calculated, and then we got $29.20. So in total, we got $100. $100 plus or minus, plus I think, yeah, plus $100 plus. So what am I doing with those funds? Obviously, I'm not going to be able to buy much of AMDY or AMPLY next week. But don't forget, I also have option strategies that I run in the background as well. I have a part of my portfolio that I run options with, such as poor man covered calls, regular wheel strategy, credit spreads, all that sorts. So what is my plan for next week for AMDY and AMPLY's payments? How am I going to go ahead and buy those shares? Well, I'm going to buy them easily, except instead of having, let's say before with $89 and the $40, right? Instead of having $200 to $300 worth of dividends to reinvest, I'm going to have $100 to reinvest plus option income that I gained this week. So I have an SMP or SPY contract that I have to move over to next week. I'm going to go ahead and move it over to next week, take those premiums, and go ahead and put that into AMDY or AMPLY, whatever I decide to choose. But yeah, that is the third week or second week for YieldMax ETFs payments, the third week for Roundhill ETFs. Or actually, no, it's the second week. What am I saying? Why am I keep saying third week? It's the second week for both of them. Second week for both of them. Oh, no, I am right. It's the third week for YieldMax. I had it swapped. Third week for YieldMax ETF. Second or third payment from YieldMax ETF. Second payment from Roundhill ETFs for the month of December. And so far, as you can see, it's kind of disappointing. Well, actually, I'm lying. It's not disappointing. Tesla paid really well. But for this week, it's disappointing. It's a disappointing week, disappointing yields, at least for the funds I own as AMD and YMAX. Of course, we'll see how it is next week. We'll see how AMDY performs and AMPLY performs. If AMDY could pay another $1 plus, that'll be great. If we could get another $1 plus, that'll be amazing. If we could get a higher AMPLY payment, that'll be great too. YMAX, if you guys want to pay a little bit more as well next week, that'll be great. Another 20 cents, please. But in general, it's okay of a week. Just not gonna have enough, not gonna have that much money going in for next week. So for into AMDY and into AMPLY, but it's okay. Nothing you could do. Just keep on going, keep on doing the wheel strat when it comes to options. Keep doing the wheel strat when it comes to dividends. Taking those week-to-week dividends, putting into the next week and over and over and over, and just growing it. So that's the plan. That's what we're looking at for this week with the distributions. That's what we're looking at for next week for how we're gonna play the distributions into next week's ex-dividend dates for AMDY and AMPLY for my personal holdings and anything else you guys might be holding for week D. And of course, then we will have week A coming back again at the end of December, paying us hopefully another $1 per share from Tesla. That'll be great. If we get another $1 per share, I wouldn't mind it. At all. That'll be a great monthly income for December. But thank you so much anyways, guys, for watching. Just a quick video talking about the distribution, the low distribution from QDTE, YMAX, and all YieldMax ETFs and Roundhill ETFs. Besides the RDT did very well. Apparently, it went up. But just overall, low payments for most of these funds from YieldMax and Roundhill. Well, like I said, we had a slower week, and we had a vacation week in a vacation month last month. So, of course, the yields might be a little bit less. It's to be expected. Volatility might be down as well. Market's been going up pretty well, so not much you can do. But anyways, that's been me. That has been my distributions for week C payments of YieldMax ETF and the second payment from Roundhill ETFs. And I'll see you guys next week when we're going to be going over a video about YieldMax ETFs. I'm going to make a little video for you guys talking about more about YieldMax ETFs, similar to the one I made a couple weeks prior. And this one's going to be about a different topic into YieldMax ETFs, which, adds in with the whole little thing I've been doing with YieldMax ETF when it comes to like purchasing and all that sort. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next week for the little tutorial, I guess you could. That's not a tutorial. What am I saying? Well, a little video we have next week for you guys playing. I hope you guys like, subscribe. Hopefully your guys' accounts are doing well. Hopefully you guys don't own AMDY. You guys don't own any of the funds that I own. You guys have CONY and all these high payers that paid a good amount for this week, and you guys are happy with your payments. But anyways, I'll see you guys next week.